Hello, namaste. My name is Ranjana and it's good to be back. Today's class, I'm going to make a short video because of a couple of my friends and yoga practitioners requested for this. This is particularly focused on the smallest joint in our body, which takes a lot of weight, most of our weight of our body. And it's very weak and susceptible to injuries, the wrist joint. So I'm going to be focusing on this and giving you a couple of practices that you can do if you already have problems to treat them, or else to prevent and manage this joint and the muscles area around it. So before you do any practices, again, it's advised to always warm up the joints. And it's not just the wrist that's holding the problem. If you experience pain in the wrist area, it could be problem in the elbow, forearm, bicep, tricep, or the shoulder region. So don't forget or abandon the other areas closer to the wrist, because when you're working on the shoulders and the elbows, it also helps the wrist. And if you're ignoring the wrist, if you're ignoring the shoulder and the elbow, could lead to problems in the wrist. Okay, and the fingers, the little joints in the body, also remember to work on them as well. So I'll begin with a couple of practices. Again, the first and the foremost is to work on the fingers. So just keeping them in front of you, open them wide and close them. Again, whenever you do any practices, remember to take your awareness to your breathing pattern and to the sensation that every practice brings to your body. So just opening and closing them up works on flexing the muscles around and in the finger region. So practice this whenever you're free, whenever you remember to. And fist and open them up. Again, you don't have to have a space, you don't have to have too much time to just do these little practices, but very effective in the long run. So this works on your fingers. And if you're not used to doing any weights and you're used to working freehand with your body weight, then you can use your hands and your wrist to work further down. So this, when we're doing our daily activities, normally what we do is extension and neutral. We don't normally flex our wrist. Unless we're using a motorcycle, we could be doing it a little bit. But otherwise, it's mostly in an extension mode or a neutral mode. So we have to make sure we balance and work on strengthening the wrist by doing this is the flexion, works on the flexor muscles, this area, and the extension where you're working on the extensors, this area. So just to fold your fingers and your wrist forward and back, and being aware again of the sensation and the work that it's doing to the extensors and the flexors in the long run. So it's giving you a good stretch, increasing the circulation in that area. Remember to keep breathing deep and long. This works for the extensors and the flexors. And then there's the radius and the ulna. So you just go up and down for the radius and the ulna strengthening. There. But if you are used to using some weights, then you could do with a bit of weight as well. So create, I couldn't find a small table, but use any strong, stable base that you can, and a small weight to start with, and then you can increase the weight slowly. Make sure your elbow is strongly fixed onto the stable base, and take your hand slightly away, and then you're going to go into extension. And you can roll the weight down to your fingertips as well to strengthen the area in the fingers, and come back to neutral. Roll it down and come back to neutral. Down and neutral. So you do these to begin with 15 times, about 3 rounds of 15 counts each, working on the extensors, and you can feel your elbows also strengthening and activating here as you're rolling through this weight. And then you turn your palm around, palms facing down, you go into the flexor, into the extensions. And neutral, go, feel this extensor muscle working, and down, up and down, inhale, exhale. Again, you can roll it down to your fingertips if you wish to. Come back up, fingertips, back up. Again, 15 times, maybe 3 times at one stretch, twice a day if you have problems already and want to treat it, or to even maintain or manage your wrist strength. Okay, and for your radius and ulna, you just switch it to the side and drop it down and come back to neutral. Down and neutral. Same way, pick it up and neutral, lift it up and neutral. Very gentle movements. Use your breath to help you with the move. Do not forget to do both sides of your arms. Yeah, we don't want one arm stronger than the other, one arm weaker than the other, so remember to do that. And also, like I said, it's linked to your elbows, so remember to also work on your elbows. Just warming them up, stretching them out. Extend, flex, extend, flex. Yeah? So when you're flexing, you can even flex your fingertips in towards the wrist as you drop your hands down towards the shoulder. So feel that work you're doing. Extend it out, bend it around, your fingertips towards the wrist and your elbows stretched out. Yeah? Simple but very effective practice. And then fingers on your shoulders. Work on your rotator cuff on your shoulder region. Inhale, lift it up. Exhale, biggest circle the tip of your elbows can make. Couple of circles in one direction and a couple in the other. Being mindful of the movement, your breath. Extend your arms out and you can pull with your one arm, the other arm you can pull it in. Stretching them out and the other side. So just warming up and giving your joints a good reason to circulate. There you go. Yeah, you can even press your hands in a prayer pose and slowly make sure the wrists don't come apart. Drop it down as much as you can and come back to the center. Push it down, come back to the center. Down, come back to the center. You can pause the video and then do it at your own pace, how much ever you think and whichever practice suits you. Now you're in this position, just open your palms facing out, thumb to thumb, and slowly rotate your back of the palm to each other and roll the fingertips inside. Making nice circles, palm facing each other and back of the palm facing each other. So this is also a great warming up and flexing for the wrist region. Opposite direction. Yeah. So the more movement you give to your wrist, elbow and shoulder region, the more it helps to get the nutrients, the oxygen flowing to that area, which will prevent any blockages, any stubbornness in the joint area. So movement is critical for any work that you do. Now if you also want to strengthen your upper body, including your shoulders, maybe push-up is one of the good ways to do it. But push-up again in extension. When you're doing push-ups in extension, you are again putting undue pressure on your wrist region. You can use any prop that you have, maybe rods or anywhere that you can take your wrist into a neutral position. Yeah, I'm going to use these dumbbells today. So you can just see if you're going into a push-up to work on your upper body as well as, and if you're strengthening your shoulders, you're strengthening your entire arm. So get your hand in a neutral position, stretch your leg back, and gently go into an A push-up. Your elbows sticking into your ribs, and down and up. Please realize that you're not extending or flexing your wrist. You're just working to strengthen them. Okay, as much as you comfortably can, and release. So keep circling them. You don't need extra time, extra space. You can do this anywhere you want. And one last thing I'd like to mention is this traction. If you already have problems, you can even use your thumb on the joint region and one outside and press it and pull the wrist out towards the finger. So you're pressing here, end of the thumb and outside towards your bone here, and pull the wrist out. Pull it out, creating a traction there in the joint, and release. Pull it out and release. At this area you can even massage by creating a figure of 8, just up and down, up and down. So this is for instant relief. If you're getting a pain and you want an instant relief, do a figure of 8 in this area or give it a traction, and you will notice it just opens up instantly. So this is for instant, but otherwise if you need to strengthen and mobilize and make your and increase the range of motion as well, so working on the shoulders, your elbows and the wrist, get the oxygen reaching that portion area that is affected as much as possible. And I hope it helps you. Just get used to the movement and do it at your own pace, your own rhythm, your own time, and see if it helps. Let me know how it goes in the comments section below, and I hope you like it. Bye-bye.